know if you fly your flags half-staff or not. We just had another soldier death in Iraq.
A stone that represents all the people who've been killed, innocent people who've been killed in war, and that's a heavy burden to carry.
The purpose of this walk is to bring recognition to the human cost of war, and especially to recognize those people who lost their lives on September 11th.
Which one is it? That one right there. You just pull up on it.
Decide on what projects we wanted to do for Peaceful Tomorrows for the next couple of years. One of them was to do this Stonewalk and to go from Boston to New York to kind of get a different kind of a journey than the one that's remembered, Flight 11 and Flight 175, remembered in a really horrible and horrific way. And we wanted to forge kind of a new connection between Boston and New York.
The registry of everybody who has walked with the stone.
If you're on the outside though,
It's a heavy burden to carry, but it's worthwhile and it needs to be brought to light of everyone.
if you haven't signed it, just get a hold of that.
I'm going the whole way, where we walked from Boston, and we will get into the Bronx on the 27th, and then we have several stops in Manhattan. The stone itself is heavy, and the work of pulling the stone is physically exhausting, and that brings up sort of a lot of emotional pain and suffering. But being able to share that with other members of Peaceful Tomorrows, other people that have come out to help us, has been a really strengthening and healing experience.
Alrighty. Okay, my name is Dan Jones, and I'm from Peaceful Tomorrows. And if Ellen looked like she was struggling a little bit, I would say, Ellen, can I just put my hand on your back? And then I just put my hand on the center of her back, just to be, make a connection and be supportive. And this kind of sends a stifling message, and it's important that we try not to send.
Very intense at some points, very emotional, but it's also, the energy here is great, and we all sort of become like a family, just walking along together, and it's all peaceful. It's not necessarily partisan, it's just all with the message of peace, and it's wonderful. My teacher lost her brother on September 11th, and I'm basically marching for her and for her brother.
I would describe it as a prayer for peace, as a way of symbolically taking on the suffering of other civilians around the world and bringing that to people who cross our paths.
Tell the police that we're ready. All right, so if anyone who's coming with us, we're ready to go. It's been fantastic. It's the kind of thing that once you join, you don't want to leave, because you get so attached to the people, you're so attached to the cause, and because a dear friend of ours lost her brother on 9/11. And I started out basically walking for her or with her in mind, but as I've walked, it's become so much more. It's become a family thing with all of the people who have been walking.
About that now. It's too early in the day. I don't really get worked up about ice cream. Actually, go buy a Dairy Queen in the center of
I've set aside 2 weeks here to take out of my life to both grieve for my family's loss and come out and think about the losses of other people, and other civilians that have been killed in wars.
Anybody on the street side should be wearing a vest. It's real important for safety, and also to keep our good relationship with the Department of Transportation in Connecticut. We said everyone on the street side would wear a vest, and those following behind. So it's just a precautionary measure. We tell people, don't bend down. Your lace.
Hard to push that? Hard to push it. It's only heavy on the heart, not on the back.
So it's wonderful. We've been getting a lot of press, and the fire people and the policemen have been great, have been wonderful. And it's just a great experience, I think.
Peaceful Tomorrows is a group of families of people who were killed in September 11th, and they have been bonded by their desire not to have any other families suffer in the way that they did. And so they're calling on the world, person by person, step by step, to find peaceful means of conflict resolution. They didn't want wars committed in their name, in the name of their loved ones.
We're on the Stonewalk, and I joined the Stonewalk in Marlborough, Connecticut, and walked as far as Middletown. And I joined again in Northford and have walked since Northford all the way here to Bridgeport.
The original Stonewalk in 1999. We saw the documentary of it on a Peaceful Tomorrows retreat in 2002. And so it was really clear from that video, from that documentary, that the people at the Peace Abbey who had organized this first Stonewalk were really, deeply concerned about the issue of civilian casualties in war 2 years before our own family members became civilian casualties. And just watching the video really spoke to my heart and the rest of the members of Peaceful Tomorrows.
In 1999, when we did this journey, there wasn't that same understanding of civilian casualties, because casualties were called collateral damage. And that was human, and so we're bringing attention to the human cost of suffering as a result of war, and especially after 9/11. And with this group, this organization that has really, they're remarkable. They're an inspiration to so many people, because what they're saying is, instead of wanting revenge, they're turning their grief into an active way of looking for peace in the world.
Lance Corporal Travis J. Layfield, age 19. From California, Corporal Bumrock Lee, age 21. From Iraq, Samar Hussein, age 13. We walked 278 miles from Boston to New York to get here to New York and be a part of this vigil. I feel like the Stonewalk has been redemption for me as a Persian Gulf veteran. I participated in sanctions enforcement, and my ship launched missiles into Iraq. So my behavior in the past has caused the death of Iraqis, and the stone has been a monument for those people that I helped to kill. So it's been very redemptive for me to push the stone from Boston to New York.